Giants.
Shame on the they tried to run game on the Welcome to Waking the Giant. I'm your humble host and servant, Nat Turner, and tonight we're going to discuss the global reset. Welcome back to Waking the Giant. I'm your humble host and servant, Nat Turner, and again tonight we're going to discuss the global reset. The global reset. It is exactly what it sounds like. Resetting our global way of life. Just think about that. To take all of our factory settings, the way we understand society to exist on a global level, and to reset it. Let's think about that. So when we're talking about the global reset, we're talking about a new social contract, right? We're talking about a new social contract with the public. This is being taken up in Davos. I'm sure you guys have heard of this before, but it's an event called the World Economic Forum 2020. 2020. This is going to be the subject matter, the global reset. In Davos, what you have is a bunch of rich and affluent people getting together to figure out different ways and strategies on how to run your lives, our lives. That's what's going on. So when you hear things like, the shadow government and all of that stuff, what they're talking about is think tanks that stand behind the government to create these initiatives that the government just follows through with. So the global reset, one of the main brokers on this deal, or one of the main players in this deal, is a group called BlackRock. If you're not familiar with BlackRock, BlackRock was the group who became the asset manager over the CARES Act fund. So the $3 trillion, they were the group who was supposed to manage the funds. The funny thing is that they got to bail out themselves. So that sounds like a conflict of interest from the beginning. The inmates were running the jail to begin with. This was also the same group in 2008 during the housing bubble who bought up all of these houses, then repackaged them and sold them back to the prior owners who had defaulted on their loans for 3 times the mortgage, 2 and 3 times the mortgage, and to be moved in as a tenant. Keep in mind, this is the group we're talking about. This one group has quite a bit of reach when we're talking about BlackRock. Quite a bit of reach. So when we're talking about the global reset, these people own a controlling interest in all of the banks and the media organizations. So in other words, if you own the controlling interest in the bank and the media organization, what that means is that I have the money to make what I say true, and I own the media. So I'm in your face and I can make something true that wasn't necessarily true before. So now, global reset. We've heard of this before in around 2014. Christine Lagarde, who was the head of the IMF, that's the International Monetary Fund, basically gave life to this term global reset, and it was a recharacterization of the New World Order. That's exactly what this is. It's the New World Order. And plain as day. Please look it up. You can look into this. You can look it up. There's globalreset.org. Like, you can look into this stuff, man. So don't be confused. So think about this. When people are talking about changing the way that you live, changing things that you were accustomed to, and they're going to use one of the biggest criminal organizations to be a part of that change, this is something that we should really pay attention to. This is what will affect our lives in the next, couple of months. The government is just playing out what's going to be taking place at these meetings. When you hear about think tanks are always nothing more than specialists in areas that rich people pay to get together so that rich people can bend the rules and have things fashioned the way that they want to. And we're just pawns in the game. So when you hear about global reset, it means to put us in a place that we don't interfere with their progress. So what this looks like, when you hear about global reset, what it looks like, what you can imagine, same thing you heard when you heard New World Order. Global currency. This isn't hidden. This is what's really being discussed. A global currency. They're also discussing a digital currency. As you know, most of our currency now is digital, but this is like completely digital. We're talking about clickbait. That's it. Fiat, okay? A digital currency. Also, on top of that, they want to create what's known as like a corporatocracy. So instead of a New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, now we're talking about Walmart, Exxon, and Amazon. So corporations themselves would actually be set up as the new forms of government or governance. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about a global reset. So again, these are things that I suggest that we pay a good deal of attention to. BlackRock has the power. BlackRock can single-handedly affect public policy, single-handedly. So they can change things overnight. They can single-handedly affect public policy, but like most of these corporations, refuse to do so with regard to the interest of public interest and for public good. So let's keep that in mind. So again, global reset. I know you may have heard of New World Order prior to 2000. Now these are the new terms they're using now. Global reset. So that's really what I wanted to make you aware of. Again, welcome back to Waking the Giant. I want to thank you for stopping by to the channel again today to come see us, because we here every week for you, and we're going to remain to be here every week for you. We are the voice for the voiceless. We make sure that we create the paradigm when yours can't fit within the corporate media struggle that you see right now on TV. So make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and big shout out to all the Patreon subscribers and everyone. Love is love, y'all. Peace and love.
The Giants.